Alright, so welcome back. This is going to be the last part, and we're going to go ahead and finish off this definition and then show you what we've been working towards here. So, alright, so we left off, we brought in a point from Rhino, and we're using this distance component to actually give us the distance between all these points, because remember, we're bringing in all 100 points. And we're going to find this essentially calculates the distance from each of these to this point here. So each of these points has the calculated distance from this point that I can move here, okay, in Rhino. Now what we're going to do is I could potentially just connect this distance to the radius now, but because I really don't know whether or not the radius is going to kind of drown out other points, because if you see here, it's going to give me radiuses of 20, 18, 16, what else? 19, 24. I really don't want those huge radii. So I'm actually going to create a scale down effect for each of those radiuses. So we're going to go to Math, Operators, Division, and we're going to bring in a division component here. Now I'm going to connect this to here, which is going to be my value, but then I'm going to divide it by a number, and I'm just going to click here and I'm going to type in 10.00, enter. Okay, and essentially what that's going to do is it's going to scale down my radius. So if I connect that to that, my result is something a little bit more manageable. I've got 10, 12. That's still a little big, so let's bring this down a little bit more. Actually, go the other way. Let's go up to like 3 or almost 4. Alright, that works, because now you can see if I bring in my little panel here, you can see that the result is a lot smaller. But without this, the values would be huge. So 3, 4, 5, that's a little bit more manageable. Okay, so I'm going to stick around somewhere between 3.5 and 4. Okay, now I'm going to move this over here just slightly. Okay, so this panel just tells you what the output is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this result to the radius. The effect that I should have is that now over here in Rhino, all these circles should change the diameter or radius based on its proximity to this point. So let's see what happens. And there we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Now the circles are a little bit big on the outside, so remember, let's go back to this number slider right here, and let's kind of scale that down a little bit by actually increasing the value, and maybe something like that. Okay. Alright, so this is what's really nice, is that this is still sort of a parametric model, even though there is some randomness with the colors. And basically, if I take this point and I move it, it essentially changes the entire grid of circles. And so now it's responding to information. It's not just completely random, so to speak. It actually has a problem that it's solving, which is reducing the size of these circles. And in some ways what we're creating is we're creating a fitness landscape using this point in this grid. Okay, So at any point I can go back and I can modify the grid itself by increasing it, increasing the spacing. So let's say I want, you know, 7 roughly in this direction, and I want 7 in this direction, just to kind of space out the circles a little bit more. And I'm going to zoom out and I can grab that. Okay, so I think that's pretty neat. Um, Depending on how you would want to use this, this is up to you, for you to determine the actual application. But I'm just kind of giving you the tools once again. And then you can always go back here and you can change that color arrangement again. And there's that random component. Okay, which is kind of neat. Um, so anyway, have fun with this one. It's kind of a neat one to play around with, and there's certainly, you can change also the number of circles that you want in this grid. So let's say you only wanted a few in that direction, and then I come down here and I randomize those colors again. There we go. And so in some ways this is a parametric model, because you can adjust the size of the grid in this direction. You can adjust the size of the grid in this direction. You can adjust the spacing of the X and the Y. You can even adjust where it starts in relationship to the 0, 0. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this. Hope you are able to get something from this that you think you can potentially apply to your own designs in your own discipline. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys again in class, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.